Dear God, we're thankful and grateful for this moment, this day, this point, this time. We so often pay our due respect to other people in other times and other eras, achievements and accomplishments that have advanced us forward toward being more and more the people, the city you would have us to be. But we ask your blessings upon the persons in the seats of power now and decision making, and on each of us, that you will guide us so that decisions made now and things done now will be honored, respected, and looked up to by those who come after us. That in retrospect, they will say we did the right thing. We paid the price. We sought your will and your presence. We tried to treat people right. Bless us toward that end and use us to honor and to glorify you and to treat each other right. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. We're going to go down the agenda, try to stick with it as closely as possible. We have, yes ma'am.
Councilman Jackson said she didn't want to make she didn't cook. She said that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Councilman Johnson won't be here. He's going to have to leave town to get his family matters.
Okay, Johnson will be absent.
Right.
Okay, thank you. All right. We have first on the agenda financial monitoring. That is Councilwoman Jackson's item. I hear that she's running late, and so we'll move on down to business licenses as I pull up the notes from President Bowie on what he would like me to speak about. Concerning business license, I know that we discussed with the mayor a couple of times in the last couple of weeks the cost, the charge for business licenses being too low, and it does not compare to the average. Thank you. It does not compare to the average. So look for those, look for conversation concerning business licenses to increase. Again, as I pull up the notes from President Bowie. Do you all know whose item it was for budget amendments? Whose item it was? Okay. Go ahead, Councilman.
It was, President Bowie wanted to bring up like the budget amendment, but the items on there, what he had requested for.
Ma'am.
Go ahead. Thank you.
If I'm on point, I think this budget amendment is going to be relative to those displaced workers that was inadvertently omitted from the budget, and they was to be reinstated with full benefits from the day that that is my understanding.
We took care of that already. Are we saying it didn't happen even though we took care of it by vote? It did not happen?
I think with the resolutions that we passed, for whatever reason, it had omitted Ms. Lola Sewell's name. And therefore, you are correct. And I think this budget amendment would reinstate her, if my memory is correct.
So are you saying after we took the vote and we did name each person by name that particular night, it still did not make it into the record?
Yes, well,
downstairs?
Right, and if you recall, there was a subsequent resolution that was submitted that we passed.
I do recall.
It did not have the single name on it. So I'm going to draw the conclusion that this budget amendment is pertains to her. And I may be wrong with that.
I'll send her a message to make sure.
But I'm thinking this is going to deal with her in this case.
Okay. Y'all forgive me because I just got the message today that I be resigning, so I don't know what's on the hearts and minds of people who have these agenda items. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
And also, she stated to President Bowie too, with her situation at the time that she had been out, that she didn't receive her pay.
Ms. Sewell, do you mind coming up for a second? How you doing?
All right.
Tell us about what happened, because we did vote for you to It was an error in the first place. Let me just make that clear. It was an error in the first place, and you should have always been on the list. But what has happened? Have you been back to work?
Well, after the October 9th council meeting, and it was that everyone would return to their positions.
Right.
And I was off that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But when I got back that Monday, I was given a pink slip. And after I tried to find out why, when it had been voted, that everybody would return to their posts, then I was told that, yeah, we're supposed to go back. But then I went back to work that Monday, and Sabrina came to me and told me that I was no longer employed by the city of Selma because my name wasn't on the list. But Ms. Harrison had given them a copy of the council meeting. And so I think you all had a workshop or something. And after they had gotten the minutes, I went back to work again, and I was asked to leave. I received a phone call that I was no longer employed by the city. But I did receive the information about being laid off and everything after. So every time I would come to work, I was asked to leave.
So how did you get laid off if you were not working? Do you know how you got a laid off slip and you were not, they told you you were no longer an employee?
Because of the list that was sent to the council, to the mayor's office, my name was omitted, along with a couple more people, I think. And then he asked you all to do a resolution, and it was in it. And then I think when you had the council meeting the next time, it was taken back out again. And so,
Madam Chair, let me,
Oh, excuse me.
these,
Go ahead.
on the consent agenda dated Tuesday, October 23rd, and that was item number 4. And that was to approve resolution R17-18/19. And that will be amending the 2018-2019 budget to reflect the following position and departments. Laborer John Walker and Terry Ward, Recreation Department. Administrative Assistant Judy Porter, Personnel Department. Laborer 2 John Lawson, Public Works Department. Secretary Cindy Sturdeline, City Clerk's Office. Code Enforcement Officer Laura Sue, Code Enforcement Officer. Now, that was on the consent agenda. We passed that Tuesday. But if my memory serves right, on Tuesday night, there was another resolution that was presented that had her name omitted.
Oh, okay, so it was in the area of typing.
I don't know
Out
what.
the name.
I don't know what.
Whoever did the
caused it.
resolution.
I don't know what caused it, but the intent, to my knowledge, was to reinstate all these people, including Ms. Lola Seward, to her respective jobs.
So,
Thank you, Councilman Shu. Go ahead, Councilman.
so, would it be in order?
What the committee meeting?
Okay. So Ms. Seward need to get back pay back to when she first was laid off, and with her benefits, so you can go to the doctor, you don't take care of whatever you got to take care of, but we can't go on until
Tuesday.
to the Tuesday, the 13th.
That's correct.
So, is that okay with you? But you give life, well, how many weeks you been on?
almost what, 1 pay period is going into the second pay period. So I missed the first one.
What's a pay
I mean,
period? A week or two?
The,
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Two
Oh, you
weeks.
2 weeks or
2
1 week?
weeks. 2 weeks.
So almost a month.
All right, so can you put down a journal for us?
So when we get paid again? Next week? So I've been off since, so it'll be a month by the next pay period that I've actually been off.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Go ahead, Councilman Shu.
So finish.
I would suggest that you give the president
Okay.
find exactly what his intentions were, because he was aware. Mrs. Sewell's name was not included.
He just sent me a
On that
long
Tuesday.
text message.
On that Tuesday, a resolution which was not in conformity with the consent agenda that we discussed in our work session on October 23rd.
Okay, he just sent me a long message. One of the messages says that Councilwoman Thomas, he gave you a list of businesses that owe us.
Yes.
And that you have that in your possession.
Yes, I do.
Somebody is to bring up an injunction letter. Would you please let me see the list? Thank you. There's a date to be set for these businesses to have mail outs. I think the first business, I wish you all had a copy of this so you can see. The first business, and you all probably know what the first business is on this list, has been served a 30-day notice. I'm not sure that that business can pay all that they owe in 30 days. So as we continue to talk about the agenda item for next Tuesday, we'll consider whether they are going to come before the council and whether we're going to consider a payment plan for this business. The amount is astronomical that they owe, and they've owed it for quite some time. And so as you go about the week, just think about it's a good number, I would guess 20, 25 names on this list that also have to receive a mail out, because you can't do one and not do all the others. And considering whether we're going to have payment plans, because we don't want folks going out of business. Councilman Short.
Madam Chair, I would prefer that before we take any actions on these businesses, that we have a conference with RDS to see what effort, if any, they have attempted to get these tax dollars, and what impediment that they experienced while they was attempting. If there was some constant notices, notification given to these businesses, and these businesses just arbitrarily just ignored it, then that's something that we need to take under consideration. However, if there's no attempt by RDS, who's the main factors, who's in charge of collecting our monies, then I think we need to just start all over again.
Okay, I thought that everyone had a copy of the letter from RDS, but they had made attempts, and they had also given them a very official letter that was, I don't know if it was hand delivered or certified. I thought that everybody had a copy of that particular letter, and in that letter, it discussed about the attempts made and that 30 days were going to be given. Does everybody have a copy of that?
I don't.
Let me turn
In
it
our
off.
box. In our box.
We had got that was,
Yes.
it was not just recently.
I ain't got a letter on one business, but I'm talking about all of these businesses that are delinquent. I'm
Oh, yeah, they're gonna go through the same process. He's saying something about RDS in this thing now, in this text message now, because he's contacted them, but they're gonna go through the same process. The way that they made it to that particular letter is the same way they're gonna make it to the letters of the other folk. They're on the list because attempts have been made, over and over. They're on this particular list because attempts have been made. And so, hopefully, I don't know if Kim from Finance is up here or
He
not.
had requested for them. He had put it on.
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
He had put in a request for, Miss Lewis and, over who's the tax collector, and he put in a request for, finance, manager to be present today to give us some information on this. So I don't know why he didn't allow it, but he sent them.
Okay, Councilwoman Youngblood.
Thank you. I was going to say, if anybody wants a copy of this, I'll be happy to make copies.
I would like to.
Yeah.
But my concern is what attempt. If I have RDS made on the same list that you have, Councilman. If there's no strong attempts, and these businesses are just arbitrarily just ignoring it, then that's something we need to consider. But however, if there had been no attempt
It has,
by the people who are required to collect our taxes, and they just simply send out a notice, but that ain't a follow-up, strong wording, then that's another thing, I would think.
Okay, go ahead, Councilman.
I don't think RDS will give us a list of these people who haven't been paying their tax without making contact.
I'm asking you, tell us what they do.
Well, RDS ain't got to tell me nothing because they ain't been paying their taxes. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. I give a flip what RDS says to them or whatever. Those people haven't paid their taxes, and that's not right for them to be collecting taxes and not paying.
But my point is, you know, the business owner has a parking plan, but RDS has a shared cost in this. They're the ones being paid to collect our taxes. And of course, I'm not saying that they just haphazardly doing it. Just show me what attempts there's been done to get taxes.
What mechanisms have been?
And that's all I'm
But
asking.
meanwhile, we need to move forward.
Hold on, Councilman Randolph. Councilwoman Thomas.
Thursday, her name is Miss Yolanda, the young lady from RDS. She made a call to President Boyd, and at the time I was present, and she said, President Boyd asked her, she told her what she had sent out the letter to him, and she said that she will be will be making an attempt to talk to some of these starting this week. She did tell President Boyd that, to try to see can we get them started, you know, making a payment, setting up, come down here and set up a payment plan and stuff, to start paying this tax money.
Okay. Councilman Randolph.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, they owe us money, so it's you know, why should we continue to put it off and wait on? Because I know RDS had to send them a letter, you know. So I feel like at the next meeting we should have a letter ready to send to all of them, you know, because all of them, you know, they know who they are. They know they ain't paid. If you let me sit around, I ain't paying mine. I'm gonna keep on continuing not paying.
I don't want to keep going back and forth. Obviously, you miss my point. I'm not trying to give business a free pass. I want to know what the people that are in charge of collecting the taxes, what have they done beyond sending them a notice? They get a notice every month anyway. Beyond the notice is the thing that I'm looking for. I know if it was the state, then the state would run down on them pulling their license and, you know, and charging them with a fine. So that's all I'm asking y'all. I'm not trying to get the businesses a pass. We need our money.
Councilwoman Thomas.
The young lady RDS has been here meeting with the mayor on this, and with Kim Lewis. She's been here last week. She's been out here. I seen her. She's been here 2 times. I saw Kim and her, and that's how she called Corey. I was present with Corey when she called, and she told Corey that this week that she would start making an attempt to contact, to have these people to come down here to set up a payment to start paying this money back.
That's good, Councilman.
But that's what she said.
Okay, Councilman Wood has texted that he did request for Kim Lewis to attend the meeting in September. And the suggestion was made that businesses who owe money should not be able to purchase a license this year. It's 4:30, I guess they're getting ready to be off. Councilman Randolph, Councilman Bowling, do you mind? Because Councilman Randolph, it'll take him longer.
Yes, he is.
Do you mind buzzing them and what's the number down there? And ask them if they can come. Ask them if they can come. 112. 112. And ask them if they can come on up and let us know what's going on. Thank you. Anything else concerning budget amendments?
I don't know what it is, but that might be on the labor business.
It's not a budget amendment.
There might be a budget amendment.
Speak, sir.
Okay, this concerned me about the employees that are being laid off. You know, we got a policy set that you can only receive 2 weeks of pay if you quit or be fired or whatever, laid off. But we got some people got 4 weeks of pay, 5 weeks of pay. So I want to bring up maybe at the next council meeting that we give all the people that got laid off, give them the opportunity to cash all their vacation time in. Don't penalize them because some stupidity may have did coming up with this bogus layoff. So that's unfair to them, you know. Because some of these guys, I know at public works, man, if I'm making minimum wage, a little above minimum wage, it kind of hard me to take vacation when, you know, I might be losing money because if they work, they might be getting a little overtime, and they take vacations. That's not right. But like I said, we need to allow them to catch their all their vacation time if they would like, you know, because it's hard for make ends meet as it is. So are y'all feeling me on that?
Councilman Shaw, I was gonna ask you if you're gonna add that to the agenda.
Yeah, I'm gonna add it to the agenda because maybe I'll get with the league and see as well. Could they get? I know most companies, some companies give you sick days. FedEx, you get 5 of them, they give you sick days too. But so I'm gonna check with the league and check on is it legal for us to get sick time as well? They got accumulation of sick days as well. Because it's just not right, you know. And that's it.
That's it,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Councilman Thomas.
Also, I want to say this, I want to ask you this here, in this budget amendment that we did for the year of 2018 to 2019, you know, we did a lot of things in the budget that once this budget goes into effect on October the 1st, does that budget go in effect on October the 1st?
Mm-hmm.
So with the situation dealing with I'm like Sam about the workers being laid off and with our finance situation, and when are we gonna look at with our finance, with the manager over finance can tell us, you know, with our revenue coming in, you know, the holidays are coming up and the people will be laid off. We want to know, like, is the funding? I know I read in an article that the mayor stated that if we don't do a tax raise or we don't do this, that there will be more laid off. There will be more people laid off. So I think that as the council representing and dealing with the finance, I think we need to see we need to have somebody being straight up, and we need to have some answers to the public about our finance situation, because we just passed the budget. We passed the 2018 budget, 2019 budget, and here we have people getting laid off that's saying, you know, we all, like Councilman Shaw always said, we are in finance situation. True enough, we were in finance situation, but as the council body sitting up here, some things that, money that was used, if we knew this was gonna come to a hard hit, that we're gonna hurt the workers, that money that we use to do things with, it should have never been spent. It should have been looking out for the welfare of the workers. And I'm saying, you know, we just passed a budget, we just passed a $17.4 million budget. So I'm saying, we don't get, we're not getting a response from our finance management. We need to know, we need answers. We need to know, so these people that work for the city would know the situation that is, if we're gonna be hit again with another layoff, we need to know, is it from the tax collector, what kind of money is coming in? What, we need some answers.
Council members, because we're beating this dead horse, you all keep asking, when are they gonna come up here and do this, and when are they gonna come up here and do that? The answer appears to be never. Councilman Randolph has already told you all that we have the power of subpoena. And that might just need to happen. And so we don't need to keep asking when are they coming up. Like I'm telling him to buzz them downstairs like right now. That's just to make them aware that we know that they're supposed to be up here. But we need to put on the agenda our power of subpoena and get these people up here and get these people up here telling the truth. That's the same question we keep asking. The answer is obvious. They're not here. They're not coming.
But
Excuse me. Councilwoman Youngblood, Councilman Randolph, and Councilwoman Thomas.
Thank you. I want to, not to try to take away from what you're saying, but I want to make the point that we got this list from RDS. And this is just the list of businesses that are egregiously overdue in paying their taxes. List of businesses who are about to have or have injunctions against them. About just less than $100 shy of $600,000. Businesses in Selma, that's not even businesses that are delinquent. These are businesses that are in peril of being enjoined because they have not paid their taxes. They have collected taxes that they haven't passed on. It's not money that they just merely owe. It's money that they have taken that's not theirs. It's the state of Alabama's money, it's the county of Dallas's money, it's the city of Selma's money. When they take that 10%, that is not their money that they get to keep. It never belongs to them. They are just a fiscal conduit, just a pass-through. And that is theft that has been stolen from the state of Alabama, the county of Dallas, the city of Selma. That's not just us. That's not merely our workers that don't make enough, that we're not able to pay. That's not just our workers who got pink slips. That's the school children that don't have enough, because they get, what, 5% of our taxes? That's the county school, that's everything we do. That's the holes in the road. That's the broken up sidewalks we see. That's the infrastructure we can't fix. So when we're talking about all the things, let's not forget about, and we like to protect and save businesses because they're important and we love our business people. And there are a lot of business people. I look and see some good and decent business people out here that we have that come in our audience, and they pay their business taxes on, they pay their taxes on time. They're ethical people. But when I see people who are doing that, it just makes my blood boil. I just have to put that out there. So when folks are berating, holding, if partially responsible, holding just a partial faction responsible, there are business owners who are withholding the money that could have us out of this fix. I just had to put that out there.
Thank you for that, Councilwoman. We say it all the time, that dime does not belong to the business.
No, ma'am.
In any kind of way, fashion, or form, does it? You know, you have delinquent on the back, make sure you pay attention to the back as well. And then you have those in straight up injunction on the other side. Well, most of them. You also have the last event that RDS took concerning them. You have some that are in third-party collections. You have some at the final assessment. You have some in injunctions or discoveries have been modified. Some are in promissory notes. Some have, that means they have come to someone and they've spoken to someone about a promissory note. So those are the actions of RDS, Councilman Randolph and Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes, at the last meeting, the council voted to have President Bowie's name go on all the bank around the city that the city have money in, so we can get a true picture. And so can you ask him about the next meeting? We need to know what's in all the banks.
What would you like me to ask him? Did he put his name on the account?
Yes, because the name should be on the account so we can see, get a true picture, because you know the mayor is lying about what's going on. And I'm like suggestion one of the council person made that since we don't have a treasurer down there, we don't trust them, let's defund everybody down there, so they all on line to us, and we bring in that public accounting that we're trying to get from Democracy to so we can have a second person that really tell us what's going on. Because I feel bad. We have a finance committee. We up in a meeting, but we don't know what we're doing. We don't have a clue what's going on. You know, and I just feel bad. But I know we got money, and I know our employees shouldn't be laid off. All this tax revenue coming in now. You know, it made me not want to pay my property tax, but I got to.
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask, if they had appeared,
Yeah, because
how many,
Neither one was aware that they requested to appear.
he ain't gonna tell you. The mayor ain't, man, I'm telling you, the mayor ain't gonna let them folk
I'm
come
just
up.
telling you what I was told.
He
Yeah,
got eaten.
Well, they didn't know to be
he a
here.
coward.
So neither one of them had a
The
chance to
word
change
of
their
the
application. So they didn't send it, you know, they
Yeah,
do.
he wasn't gonna send it, because he don't want us to know. That's why I said they lying. He lying about-
Well, they seemed honest.
well, yeah, they
They
probably
didn't
didn't
know.
get past to them.
They didn't
Go
know.
ahead, Councilman.
Yeah, because that's why I said, because he don't want to get caught in their lies about the city don't have any money. You know, that's what this whole thing about, you know. Man, October, November, December is some of the biggest revenue months that the city have. All them 3 months is some of the biggest revenue intake money we have the whole year, you know. So I've been at this too long, and I know shyster when I see one, and the mayor's a shyster because he's trying to pull our leg, trying to force us to put 1 cent sale tax on our citizens. And I say, hey, you're not being transparent with the 10%. Who you think gonna vote for 1%? You know, it's crazy. But I'm just, like I said, we don't even know we meeting, but if anybody got up and tell me what's in our county region like, could anybody tell me? What's in the county, what the bank over here?
PNC?
PNC. You know?
Trustmark?
Trustmark? Could somebody tell me?
I can tell you, if you look
Hold on, we had Councilwoman Thompson saying, are you done? Well, I know you posed the question and they caused for everybody to speak. But Councilwoman Thompson, go ahead.
I let her do it, and then I come back to me. She had her.
Okay, so Councilwoman Youngwood and then Councilman LaShaw.
Okay, but I think she had a question. I
have one, but I want to.
another.
She passed. Go
Question.
ahead.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about financially related things. I wanted to ask about, I had misunderstood when there was the reading of the audit report. I thought that just you and the president were supposed to be there for that meeting. I didn't realize it was all the council. So I haven't gotten a copy of the audit report, and I wanted to see about getting a copy of the audit report. And also, I have requested this several times. I wanted a list of the names of the people who were laid off. One of the reasons is I have some things that I need to have done, some work, and I thought that, you know, there are a lot of real talented people that were laid off, and I thought that they may, you know, want to be able to do some things. So, a lot of people know how to do some yard work and things really nice, and very skilled people that nobody in my house knows how to do. So anyway, but also, I think we need to know as council people, we certainly need to know. And I requested that more than twice, so I wanted to make that known.
You probably have to subpoena that. The audit meeting, the mayor was here actually that night and invited everybody, so we just happened to go.
Yeah, I just did, and I
Yeah.
just did not get that.
They're supposed to come to
But
the
it's
entire
my
body.
misunderstanding, so
No,
I
no,
just.
no, they're supposed to come to the entire body and make a presentation. And when someone asked them about that at that meeting, they said that they have not been asked. You know, this firm is brand new. They have not been asked to come make a presentation.
Well, do I need
That's
to
what
send
this-
them a nice note? and ask them about
I guess they were referring to the mayor, but you certainly can try to ask them to come and make a presentation, because y'all know we're paying them almost $200,000.
Well, did they, now.
Double what was in the
I'm
budget.
accustomed- Okay, I'm accustomed to did everybody I thought maybe I was the only one that didn't get all the report. Did they get reports?
Yes,
So the people who attended.
Yeah, but they got one for everybody.
Yeah.
the mayor has one.
Oh, okay.
But they're supposed to come and present the audit report to everyone at a council meeting and make that presentation so that not just us, but the public can hear it. And so, yeah, they need to be asked, they said. And then concerning the list of layoffs, there was some discrepancies about how it was done. Was it done in order? Was it done according to labor laws? You have some secretaries who got a letter and some who did not get a letter. You had some going across one board. You're in the same position as this one. You got a letter, but this one didn't get a letter. So council members, be aware that there are going to be more suit claims. And that's probably going to be upwards of $1 million. I don't know how many claims we're at right now. That's probably, we may be at $1 million. I don't know how much the claims are going to total us. But be very aware that claims will be filed concerning whether the city did things decent and in order with this layout. We were told that the council had no business defunding the chair of chief of staff and the recreation director because they were officers. I do have the Attorney General's opinion on that. He does list the officers, they're not on there. The Attorney General also says that that is also stated that the president or any member of the council can write checks. I'm not telling you this to write checks because God forbid, I don't want to write checks. But what I'm telling you is what he sent down. So even the Attorney General is looking and watching. Even the Attorney General. So council members, he is saying to you, you did have the right to do what it is that you did. Concerning the funding, the position of chief of staff, concerning the funding, the position of recreation director. They are not officers, as stated in the opinion. Since a lot of people don't like the league, since people don't like the league, I went ahead to the Attorney General so it can be official to some people. Go ahead, Councilwoman Thomas.
Also to,
Had my hand on council.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I'm
Councilwoman.
not gonna continue to raise my hand and you just arbitrarily over.
No, Councilwoman Thomas, go
Y'all
ahead.
just handle it.
Go ahead, Councilwoman Thomas.
You mad?
Ma'am, go ahead.
also, Councilman Benjamin, you are right. I took the training and also I understand the same thing was told to me, what was told to you. And I also want to say this too, once we do the budget and if we abolish a position in there, like the chief of staff, we put a freeze on the HR department, something like that. It says that the mayor has no right to override what's in the budget because the funding, the money is not there to pay those people for their position. They asked me where would they be getting the money from if we did it in the budget and it's not there. And you know, like we listened to on the radio, we heard the mayor said he called Ms. Sabrina Simmons his chief of staff. Okay, and the citizen say, well, I thought y'all don't have a chief of staff, but they must understand he can call her what he want to, but he cannot pay her because the money isn't there. And if there any money being paid, that we have the right to have someone to we can bring action to make them pay this money back that they were being paid. If they've been paid the salary, they will have to pay this money back. So that's why I was saying, you know, we're trying to do our duty as a council person to represent the city. And the mayor has his duty run on a daily basis, operates, which he laid the people off. And it's our duty is to find out where the funding. And we're working with them. We are asking for the tax collector to come. We have asked for the manager of the finance to come. And you know, it's bad that we have to go when you're trying to work together and you're not getting nowhere. If we have to subpoena them, So we need to do that, because we need to know where the city finances it.
Yeah.
Councilman Randall.
That's why I say, they don't respect us, the mayor don't respect the council. That's why we need to defund the whole finance department. You know, let them know who in charge of the revenue. And, cause you know they lying to us. Everybody up there know that we're not being told the truth on the finance situation. You know, and it's just unfair for us to keep on requesting for department heads to come here and know that the mayor not gonna make them come. He don't even pass on the information. And you know, cause he don't respect us anyway, because like you said, you got the chief of staff. We defunded that, and she's still getting her chief of staff paid. We defunded recreation, special department head. He's still getting his pay. So you know, they just break the laws all kind of ways, and everybody know they break the law. But you know, I'm not knocking this council, but we too nice, man. I'm telling you, we too nice to let this stuff go on. We don't, it's like, you know, we don't, I'm not saying that y'all don't care, but it's just like, we gotta take a different approach to this situation. Because you guess what, you know, people in the street, they're not gonna say the mayor bankrupt the city or make the city look bad. They gonna blame us. And how could someone blame us for the financial situation and we don't even know what we got? That's just not right for someone, you know, for us to be up here over the finance committee, but we're not getting a true picture.
And Councilman Randolph, I think everyone up here cares. I know you like to say this council. Everyone up here cares, and all you have to do is make a motion Tuesday. We'll put it on the agenda, you make the motion. Councilwoman Thomas.
And also, I want to, what you just said, everyone up here, when it comes to doing what's right, we all have to stand and do exactly what we're supposed to do. Because we are elected officials to make sure that our city and our employees be able to maintain this city. And we just have to do what we need to do. Because having meetings and we're not getting no response from people that work for this city that has positions that are getting paid through the salary from the taxpayer. So we have to do what we're supposed to do. We have to let them know that we're over-financed and we have diligently requested many times for someone. You have our treasurer on the outside and we don't have anyone to come forward this body and tell us what we want to know. And like we said, the mayor does not control the finance. And we can make a motion on the floor Tuesday night, what we need to do.
All right. Anything else on this matter? Council members, we're down to related business items. Any related matters that you like to bring up now?
I do.
Go ahead, Councilman.
I would like to bring up about the Dallas Academy. That's a business.
No. Related to finance. I'm sorry. Related to finance. Okay. Anybody? All right. Business license fees. For the city of Selma, current license fees are $55 for business license. For the state of Alabama, it is $100. For the city of Demopolis, it is $275. For Pritchard, it is $300 plus a percentage of the gross receipts. And then the mayor has on his list a proposed upgrade of $300 for the city of Selma. Public building fees. This is from the mayor's office. Public building fees. The convention center is at $500. I guess that's the weekend. He is proposing an upgrade to $750. The Evans building is $500. He's proposing an upgrade to $750. The Performing Arts Center is at $150. He's proposing an upgrade to $300. The Performing Arts Center is already almost at $300. The Smithman building is at $250. He's proposing an upgrade to $500. Washington Street is $150, proposing $250. Memorial Stadium is at $400. He's proposing an upgrade to $1,000.
He is misplacing where he thinks his money's coming from.
Block Park
Who has his money?
is at $75. He's proposing an upgrade to $125. The Ram Shack is at $50. He's proposing an upgrade to $100. The amphitheater he's proposing remains at $3,000.
We're getting a lot of business out of that one.
Building inspector fees. You have a question about public buildings?
Oh, no, yeah, but I'll just wait.
Okay.
Till it's-
Building inspector fees for Montgomery, Alabama for, what's, maybe that's plumbing. $25, Prattville, $25, Troy, $25. It is $10 in the city of Selma. The mayor is proposing $25. For electrical, that was plumbing. Electrical, $35 in Montgomery, $25 in Prattville, $20 in Troy, is $10 in Selma. He's proposing $25. Gas, and this is still building inspector fees. $25 in Montgomery, $25 in Prattville, $20 in Troy, $10 in Selma. He's proposing $25. Mechanical, $25 in Montgomery, $25 in Prattville, $20 in Troy, $10 in Selma. Currently, he's proposing $25.
So 25 across the board.
25 across the board. And cemetery fees, New Live Oak is $300 per space. Currently, for the week it's at $300, and for the weekend is $500. He's proposing a flat fee of $500. Old Live Oak is $0 per space.
There's no spaces left.
There's no spaces left, and so currently he's proposing an upgrade to $500. So if there is no space,
We're still buried there, but we don't have any spaces to sell there.
Right.
so you can't sell in space.
He's buried.
No, but families own spaces already.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Lorenzo Harrison, $250, and through the week $300. On the weekend $500. He's proposing $500 plus.
Who's it?
Lorenzo Harrison. It has a cemetery. Yeah, it has another name. It has another name. Pine View. That's not even us. Pine View, Prattville, Clanton, and Clanton. Recreation fees, $50. Those who pay recreation fees, I don't know what that upgrade is to. It's not on this paper. Ms. Ellison, do you know what that upgrade's from? $50? Is it $10?
It's $10 for registration, yeah, for all sports.
Okay, so that's an upgrade from $10 to $50. Okay. Councilwoman Youngblood and Councilwoman Tucker.
Yeah, first of all, on the public buildings, I know Councilwoman Thomas, you're the chair of that committee, aren't you? I'm sure the Public Buildings Committee will have their own ideas and will meet and have their own ideas after they investigate all that and do some talking about what needs to happen on that. But also, I just have to make a comment on all the fees and stuff. There is no question that we need to up it a little bit, because I can't remember our ever upping the fees since we've been in.
We did.
Did we up the inspection fees and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff?
not the inspection fees.
Yeah, no, I know,
Public
the public
buildings.
buildings, because I know that you took a lot of time and we did a lot of examination on that. But I'm talking about the electrical inspection.
Oh,
and
no,
stuff
we
like that.
haven't.
But I'm just gonna tell you, this is, people gonna make fun of me about saying this. I know everybody sneaks and watches Dr. Phil, I don't care what y'all say. But on Dr. Phil one time, he was telling some man that was you know, dogging out his girlfriend for being fat or something, and he was a pudding with bald hair. And Dr. Fitz told him, he said, you know, if you expect a 10, you gotta be a 10 yourself. And I say that to say, if we think we're going to charge what Prattville and Montgomery and other places charge for certain fees, you know, we have to be able to offer the same thing. And you know, we need to upgrade and do a little bit more, but we can't hold ourselves to the same standards. So anyway, just saying.
I made a final report for public buildings. Councilwoman Thomas, you may want to pull that report. The buildings, I'm not gonna say they're not worth what we're already charging, but what I am going to say is we need to get them up to par before we try to charge someone a different fee.
And that's what I told
I made a full report.
Yes, and that's what I said I wanted to do, since I was the chairperson of public and me and the committee. I would like to get with Ms. Davis, and I would like to go, because I seen some things that needs to be done. And I know they had money to use to do some of the little small repairs. And I see some things that have been done, look like have been done in a while, that I will be like, you know, expecting and going through. So, and I'm gonna get the list what you said, but I let the mayor know, so Miss Davis, when I go to her, you know, I don't want me and her to be getting arguing about that, because I'm about business. And I want to do things the right way. If we rent these buildings out and we use them, I would like for them to be kept up.
Yeah.
And
as a person who's rented the buildings in the past, as part of our organization that's rented the buildings, I mean, we had to bring in, you know, light bulbs and clean and sweep and mop and straighten up and fix plumbing issues. And I mean, we had to take care of a lot of business ourselves that should have been taken care of in the city before we got the building in the first place. If people can't use a restroom at an event because you didn't take care of your toilets, that's an issue the city has, not with the person renting the building. So to your point, they better be up to snuff if we're going to charge more money for them, because right now they're not.
And that's what I was saying. I was listening to the call that, you know, we spend a lot of money. We have a park that is not being kept for family members to bring their kids out, spend the day. We don't even have do we have a restroom?
No, about a building for a restroom in here.
Okay. And even out here out by the stadium out here in the areas, and I could see that some things that we're gonna have to work on. I know it's gonna take a while, but you can't charge people that kind of fee till we do a little bit of improving ourselves.
Councilwoman, that's a nice segue into what you were trying to get into that's not related. You have just made it related. For the Dallas Academy building and the charge and the fee for the Dallas Academy building, concerning all the charges that are being made. I know that there's a group that's been raising their own money for the Dallas Academy building, and we need to think about how we're going to handle that too. I was trying to bring you in, that's all.
Okay, I would like to say this. I did my little, you know, I do a little investigating, and since I've been here for the Dallas Academy been codified in 1 year, and they have been talking about trying to get in, which I like it because it's for the kids. It's for all of for something for our children to have in the summertime, art and everything. And these people have been working daily, waiting. And I asked the mayor. I went to the mayor. I asked the mayor about why haven't the insurance an estimate on this building. You know, the insurance been paid. The money has been paid. And for a year, the insurance have given them this money, and someone has been holding the check. And it's like, he told me he was gonna let Sean Van Dyke do the estimate to get the repair, so the building can get repaired. He said he was gonna, and I was wondering, why is he has to be the one to get the estimate done when we have the clerk and the insurance? So that's what, you know, I didn't want to get in an argument with him, but I just wanted to let him know that you're not talking to somebody that don't know. I just took what he said, and I told him to give me, I asked for some information, which they were supposed to give it to me. And I haven't received it yet, but Tuesday night I will have a full report on that building. And I want to see that it go ahead on and get done because they have the money. They have money.
Councilwoman, please, get with the clerk. That's what you and I talked about
Yes.
last time. Just bypass.
Yeah, I'm bypassed that. I said I was gonna go to the
Just
clerk.
get with the clerk.
Yes.
All right, we're getting, to our close here. As we get ready to close, I wanted to, reiterate, something that Councilman, Randolph was saying. Because I want to make sure he puts this on the agenda. That's right. As he fears no one cares but him. Councilman Randolph has proposed the defunding of the Finance Committee and Tax and License, am I correct? And getting the accounting firm in on our end, from our end, to see what's going on in there. You also brought up subpoena about 2 weeks ago, to subpoena. Have you found out information on how that is to be done properly, appropriately, and legally since the time you brought it up?
Want to turn it on, just up, yeah, well.
Attorney had, he presented something at the council meeting. And,
Are
he
you
said
prepared for that Tuesday?
well, he said something to the fact that we can subpoena on certain items issued, but we can't. Something he said, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said in front of the council meeting.
He said that we could subpoena them to come before us and give us a report of what we're asking for. He said that, sitting right there on the platform, the last council meeting, he told us that they can be subpoenaed to come before the council and give a full report on what we want to know about the finance.
And also, since Councilwoman Jackson has came in, I just want to ask her a question, if I may. At the last council meeting, we made a motion that, I don't know, did we make a motion that all the purchase orders and all the deposits?
Okay, I'm gonna bring her back in on that since she has arrived, but are you?
No, because I was wondering, was she able to get the information?
Oh, okay. Are you done with the subpoena information? Are you ready for Tuesday?
Yeah, just put it on agenda for Tuesday. I mean, you know. Because it don't make no sense. We can't get no true information from the finance department. You know?
Anyone else concerning related business items? The last item. All right. Well, before we close, Councilwoman Jackson is here. We're going to give you a few minutes, but we're ready to go.
Well, I don't know what we've discussed, and I apologize.
We're just we left your item for you, financial monitoring.
Well, I haven't been privy to any of the information that I requested. I think he did send out to the entire council some purchase orders that were dated from, I think, July through September. Excuse me?
That's the 17th.
Right. Right. So
we try to see something wrong.
Right. And so I mean that really wasn't the information that I was requesting. And when I was in the meeting with you all on last week regarding financial monitoring, I asked him about the daily accounting, the daily deposits. He stated that he would not provide us with that information, and I brought to his attention that he actually stated in the open council meeting that he would provide us with any information that we needed because we were the fiduciary body. We were over the finances, and he said it's busy work for the employees, and he was not going to have them to do that. He would send it to us every 2 weeks. But what, please let me, I walked up these stairs, so let me get my breath. So, but the reason I asked for this, I don't like, and as I stated to the President Pro Tem when she was trying to actually mediate the conversation, that I don't like innuendos and rumors. And so it was insinuated that we don't make daily deposits. That's something that we should be doing. And so asking for them daily rather than every 2 weeks will ensure that we're making daily deposits and what type of revenue is coming into the city. And to have those stamps, those date stamps on all mail that comes into the city, it's to me, it seems like it's just the very minimum that we could do. He stated he would not. I did speak with the league regarding that, and they made me aware that if we voted by a majority vote, the motion passed with a majority vote at a legally convened meeting, that he was then authorized, as he stated to me, that he's the chief executive officer, and he does not have to do what we say do. He's compromising by providing it twice a month, because by statute, he's only required to provide it twice a year. And I understand that, but again, Ms. Tanae Frazier stated that if we pass, it passed by majority vote for daily monitoring and daily accounting for him to provide this information in a legally convened meeting, which it did, then at that point he became obligated. She also stated to me that we probably would need to get an attorney. And so we have some things that are into play. I hate that we would have to come to this, but when we're dealing with the finances, if we are not aware of the financial status of the city, how can we then make proper decisions?
That's right.
You know, I mean, if you're not willing to give us all the revenue and all the debt and all the information we need to make fundamentally sound decisions on behalf of the city in regards to their finances, then you're obstructing justice, I believe. Then you're doing something that would impede our progress. And you know, I'm not about getting on the radio and saying all those things. I'm about sending him the email, which was sent on the 29th, and I have not received a reply back at all. Not to say I'm not going to do it, other than in our meeting. And then I asked for some additional information. Mr. Councilman Randolph, if I may call you by name, stated in our last meeting that there were individuals being paid, that positions were defunded. Again, I don't know that information to be true. So what I did was send an email and said, will you provide me a copy of all the employees, along with all employees that are currently on staff from August to October, with their title, position, and pay, including any overtime. I have not heard anything. And I think the best way to flesh those things out that are being asserted, that are being suggested, is with information. And if you can provide us with the information, we can make sure that we give truth and facts. And without that, we're left with more innuendos. And he has not been open to providing that information, nor open to the financial monitoring that we've put into place. And I'm extremely disappointed by the whole process.
All right, Councilwoman, you said a lot of what Councilman Randolph said before you got here. So glad y'all are on the same page. He said we don't have information, so how can we make decisions? And he also talked about the defunded positions being paid for illegally. He talked about that because we voted to defund certain positions, and we did it legally to do that. Go ahead.
And if I may, Madam President Pro Tem, I don't know at this junction that they're being paid for you.
That's what he said.
I don't know if there's a transfer, and we don't know that information, but we're required to. We should want to know that information, and he should be willing to provide it. If it's nothing erroneous, if it's nothing irreparable, he should provide that information and to make us aware, and then all of this could, you know, dissipate, and we could think about those 70 plus employees that as of today. Is it still in effect? Please tell me, Mayor Graham. No, Mayor. No, Mayor. It's still in effect.
I think it's still in effect.
So, I mean, then we can make sound financial decisions regarding those. I will say that in the meeting, our president asked about maybe doing a 10% cut, or what else did he suggest? Putting them on part-time, and he said it couldn't be done. And I asked him, had an analysis been done, a cost analysis on the savings that we would have letting 74, 75 or more people go versus cutting 10% across the board if there was some type of cost analysis that we could provide, because if it was minimal, then maybe we could work something out. But you know what happened in that meeting.
I do. You know, there's something unspoken here, and I think we all know how the money will magically reappear if the certain ones were back at work. Go ahead, Councilwoman Thomas.
And also, I want to say, you know, the mayor made a statement on well, the chief, well, now I'm not gonna call it, but Mr. Sabrina Simmons made a statement that on the air, Friday, you know, they go on the air, and she made a statement with some of the stuff that Ms. Jackson said, and she said that I have given them all of the information that Ms. Jackson just required. And I was trying to figure out, have any of the council members received it? Because
We all did, in the email. Everybody did. Everybody got it. It just was not what she asked for. It's in your email.
I didn't get it.
I would like to say, I'm concerned about our audit. This is the 2017 audit, and the only reason why I have it and not all the other things that I was planning to talk about is because I carried it in my car. I'm concerned. There are issues regarding our finances. Let's not brush that over. I don't want to seem like they're not issues, but we don't know how deep. We don't know just how far in debt we are. I think it's asserted, and this was a year ago, 750,000, so it may be more at this time. And for those of you that already have it, now I was informed that the auditors are coming to the work session.
Thursday.
Well, you know, I don't know if you asked the question or someone else asked the question, they said they had not been asked, remember?
Right, so I asked the question at the meeting and they stated they had not been asked to come. But at my Friday meeting, that was on Wednesday, and so at my Friday meeting, he stated that he spoke with the mayor stated that he spoke with the president and they agreed for the auditors to come to the work session. I begged, beseeched, Bravo, requesting that they come to not a work session, but an actual council meeting because it's going to be on air. It'll be to the public, and more people will be available to hear the information and know exactly where we are. Because I do believe that we are in a serious financial situation. I do believe that.
Yeah, that was my response to Councilwoman Youngblood asked earlier when we talked about the auditors coming to the regular and general meeting, making a presentation.
Right, and I asked, not only did I ask the mayor, but I asked our president. I don't get to make those decisions, but I think it's in the best interest. Come Thursday, just in case. Just in case, so you can hear the information and anyone else that you could tell about the meeting, just in case. Hopefully, between now and then, they'll actually change it into a meeting where the public can hear exactly where our finances are, making no qualms about it. There's no doubt that we have issues. There's no doubt. It's just how severe. It's just how severe because you all were there.
I was there. One of the major issues was accrual and processes and how they do things downstairs. Some of it was simple fixes where they said that they can go down, and I can show you how to do this. There is a way that you can remove this from this account, put it in its own number, and it will not appear in the budget at one number and is actually another number. So yeah, I was there. You all just need to hear the presentation yourself. A lot of those things they can go down there and help the financial department with, if it's not a conflict for them. That accounting firm that you talked about earlier, Selma Randolph, is probably our better bet, because you just can't have the auditors down there doing other things that's a conflict with the $200,000 that we're paying them almost. So yeah, Councilwoman Thompson.
Okay, and I was present too when the auditor was telling me, and I think that what Councilman Randolph said, that to make sure that this city is on the right track, since our finance department and our tax collector and our manager finance, we can't get it out of them. Maybe, you know, what we need to do is just defund it and put someone in there to get us on the right track, to let us know what's going on with the finance for the city.
Anybody else without repeating ourselves?
I just want to say, I don't know if it's the individuals that work down in the departments that are not cooperating or the mayor putting something in their way so they can't cooperate. So I don't think it's necessarily fair to blame those employees for a lack of action when they're being, or maybe being told, you know, not to do certain things or provide information to us. I don't think it's good to impugn all the employees of those two departments unnecessarily. I think that's a little over the top, in my opinion.
You know, I had a conversation with the finance department today, and it was about something that was supposed to be done and was not done. And I recalled to them an incident where they had directives not to cut a certain check for a certain thing without the proper information. However, they did anyway. They made a decision on their own, and they did it anyway. And they didn't need anybody else to tell them.
Is that in this current environment?
They did it anyway.
Was that?
So it depends on who it is on whether they make a decision or not on certain things. So you just got to remember that part. I think that's why he's saying if you're going to do it that way, we need to define the department, get a firm in here, an accounting firm in here. Councilwoman Thomas, I saw your hand, and Councilwoman Jackson. Okay, I'm sorry, Councilwoman Jackson.
And actually, when I was talking about the audit, I wasn't necessarily talking about those 60+ items that they named in those approximately 13 pages. I was really talking about the decrease in revenue and the operating expense days. If you look at 2013, we had 51 days of operating expense. In 2014, 59 days, 2015, 40 days, 2016, 32. And as of 2017, we have 26 operating days of finances on hand. And I know that goes into play with our reserves. However, as they stated, the auditor stated that we should have a minimum of 60 to 90 days of operating expense on hand. And so those are the greater concerns that I have regarding the finances, more so than entry errors. It's the funding that's here. I think that's attributed to some of the things that we made, like purchases. We definitely needed trucks. But I will recall when Ms. Wade actually stated to us, you need to hold off on that vote. It needs to be in a budget. We need to see how it's going to look going forward. She asked us, she begged with us. Now that's something I can agree with her on, but I also disagree with her when in April, my esteemed colleague stated that we needed to pay a one-time raise, and she said we had the money. We didn't have the money then. We don't have it now, and those are times that we have to make difficult decisions. Yes, everyone needs bonuses, but maybe they could have carried us a little bit further. Instead of 26 days, maybe we could have had 30. It wouldn't have made a huge difference, but it would have had a difference coming forward. So just things like that I want to bring up with the auditors, and I think that my main goal, I announced last February to Board 3 members, that I wouldn't talk about, I wouldn't discuss. My only thing would be financial monitoring. And if you get tired of me talking about accountability in the finances and financial monitoring, that's the only thing I know. See, I don't want to talk about anything else. I'm going to let you all handle everything else, but I'm going through this with every business owner, any member of the community that would like to discuss these matters with me. Please, I can never have too much help in understanding and getting a grip on our finances. So anything that you could suggest to me that I haven't thought of, that I have thought of, that haven't been implemented in the changes that we can make, I'll definitely bring it back to the body, because I think all of us are in the same position that we want change and we want to be to take on our responsibility. We've allowed others to handle it. As the mayor stated, that I've already handled it. I've already said there can be no purchases made unless it comes through the mayor's office. Yes, but that was not his authority. So we thank you for doing that, but that's our authority and that's supposed to be our responsibility. We need to start doing that.
Okay. Councilwoman, we need your help on all matters, not just financial monitoring. Don't clock out. One of the other things in the audit was the decrease in sales tax that we talked about before you got here. That is declining, and we talked about why, and we talked about the businesses. And I don't know, sometimes you have money appropriated for certain things, and that's why council members bring it up in the manner that they do, because it was appropriated for those things. Councilwoman Thomas, as she was speaking, did you have your hand up that time, or were you just?
Yes, I had my hand up.
All right, go ahead.
And you know, like we said, finance matter, there's a lot of, it's good that we, making ourselves aware of the finance situation, because we have problems that we have to deal with, the finance, dealing with the police department, the fire department. You know, all of these things are where they are asking for funding, and we are the ones that have to provide this, to make sure that they have these things, to get the equipment fixed, to keep the fire truck. Because lately our fire trucks have been running regular. We've been having quite a few fires here in Selma. The trucks, they've been running regular, and you know, we got, we get ready to have a public safety meeting. And letting people know so you can come to that. It'll be on the 7th. So there's a lot of things that we'll be talking about is dealing with money, things that they'll be needing.
Anything else, council members?
That's it.
I just want to talk about injunction for 1 second, if I could.
Go ahead.
I had called the lead municipality today, and they told me that we didn't have to have a lawyer since we have an in-house lawyer, and they said attorney, our attorney, he did not represent the council, he did not represent the mayor, he represents the municipalities, he represents the city. So they said that we could do injunction using him, but they wanted him to check with the bar association as well, since I told him that he felt that it might be a conflict with interest. But the league said they don't see a conflict of interest because he don't represent the council nor the mayor. He the attorney for the municipality. So because Mr. Jackson just read off a bunch of stuff that the auditors found, and we need our treasurer here so she can help correct some of these things. If you keep it away from here, you know, it won't be corrected. Just like they was talking about the same thing.
Wouldn't be any layoffs.
Wouldn't be any layoff. And then, you know, they talked about the St. James Hotel. It's just a means of simple how you post and stuff. St. James was costing us money. We was taking money to help them. But he was saying this way you had to put that on your ledger because you know you weren't gonna get no money back. So St. James should have been put as ran as his own business, put in account just losing money. But St. James is closed, ladies and gentlemen, and it's still costing them money. Did y'all know that?
Oh, we said that in the audit meeting.
It's closed, but what I'm saying, we need to figure a way to do an injunction on the behalf of our employees as well as our treasurers, so we can get some of the stuff to straighten that on the audit. It's like 13 pages or something like that on the audit. And just because the 13 pages of things on the audit, that don't mean our audit was bad. So, but you know, you always have some things that are fine. And the reason you have so many things, 13 pages, because this audit firm is different from the last one we had. So, so this new audit firm, you know, I never thought I'd see a $200,000 audit, you know, regular day. But you know, but it is what it is, and
It's ridiculous.
yeah, it is what it is. So, but we need our treasure back. So we need to come up with a way to try to get the treasure back and put an injunction on behalf of our employees.
Are you placing that on the? I'm glad you called me earlier about that, and I'm glad you talked to the league as we discussed. And it seems like you did your homework on this one. Are you ready to put that on the agenda for Tuesday?
Yeah. You know, meanwhile, I was just turning on to contact.
Yeah.
Contact the ethics commissioner on his behalf because they said they wanted him here from a source as well, you know. So I'll give a turn there to tell him to call State Bar Association and ethics commission because he do not represent. He represents the municipality, so we can't hide.
got you. Councilwoman Jackson.
And I hear what you're saying. We talked about that in one session.
Yeah.
But I agree that we need something. If I could announce this on a lighter note, I had an opportunity to speak with the executive director of the Ebonite Missions and was made aware that they strategically and proactively, at the moment that they heard about the layoffs, went into resource mode. And so they found resources and funding to help the city of Selma employees during this difficult time. So I'll make the announcement tonight, and if anyone know of a city employee, Mr. Chad, if you make any
They're all in the audience, employees.
I see a great many of them. I see a great many of them. But if you all would go to the Edmondites, they've made resources and accommodations. Of course, it's going to vary on the assessment and evaluation they've done that they would have on the entire family. But I just wanted to thank them for the great leadership that they took in developing that and seeing that there may be an additional need in our community and wanting to fill that need. So can we just give him a round of applause? But that's the type of proactive leadership that we have in with that. Excuse me.
That's the key word, leadership.
That's leadership. That is sound leadership, and so they are joining.
Chad for mayor.
Chad for mayor. Okay. and so we're grateful and thankful for.
Me too.
Okay, Chad, since you're being summoned, come on up.
Come on, yes, come on up and tell us about what you were able to do and what you were wanting to do for our community. And just, he was not asked to do this. He did not say, well, wait, let me allow the first person to come down here with need. He heard about what was going on and immediately went into action. That is awesome leadership. So
Hey, come on up and make sure we have correct information and everything, and tell everybody, because you can stand there, they can hear you. There's a microphone right there. Just make sure everybody has information. They may want to put it in their phones. They may want to text it to the other employees who are absent tonight.
What we did was, we were very concerned, obviously, when we heard about this at the Edmonite Mission, and we just wanted to try to do whatever we could to get folks over the hump, if you will. We know that people were paid on Friday, but we don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. We don't know what's going to happen in the next few days, particularly with the holidays coming up. And when you have folks that are making $8 an hour and you don't get paid for a couple of weeks, or whatever the amount might be, you're living paycheck to paycheck. So what we've done, we sent out an appeal to our donor base, asking them for help. We call this where folks might have had a tornado or some other devastating natural disaster. This is a natural disaster to our city employees where they had no control over this. So we are making funds available, varying depending on what a family might need. We also want to encourage folks. We've reached out to DHR to try to link folks if they need to help with food stamps or unemployment. We've worked with them to try to streamline some issues there where there have been. And we just ask you to come down to 1107 Griffin and work with our Catholic Social Ministries there, and we'll do whatever we can to try to help you. I know that Pioneer Electric and Alabama Power and the water company do not like non-payment, and so we want to try to work with you as best as we can to help you and get you, get anyone that needs. This is over and above what we do every month. And so we know this is a very difficult time. We have folks that come in daily needing assistance, and this will be over and above what we normally do. But we just want to let you know that the Edmonite Missions is here and wanting to help in any way possible our city of Selma. So.
Chad,
There is a phone number that you can call. 872-4213. 872-4213.
Okay, Chad, I know some time ago, employees had, employee identification badges or something with them. Do you want them to bring something with them so that they turn in?
Yeah, basically, if you could bring, basically what we would ask is that you bring, we're gonna know most of you would be city employees if you tell us you're city employee. Back check stuff is what we would like.
The last one.
The last one.
If
Yep.
you all could help spread the word that because IDs were turned in on today, the last check stub will be your current check stub. Bring that.
So
and that would be
if you bring that down and just work with our folks there at Catholic Social Ministries, we'll try to help you out as best we can to just sort of deal with this, what we believe is a crisis for our city. So.
Thank you so much. Again, that number is 872-4213. We're gonna close out with Miss Nikki, who has been anxious to speak. We're gonna close out with her and Kevin.
There's a lot of workers that are not emergency food stamps. Can they get those? Because they don't be so long. You have
Well, that is, I'm sorry, is what?
emergency food stamps.
That's what Heidi down in our Catholic Social Ministries has been working with. I don't know all the details, but if you go down there or call down there, they should have that information.
That's all I need.
Yeah, so we've been working with PHR to try to get this worked around.
And then kids on that too.
I don't know all those details. Okay.
We'll be down in the morning at 12.
Okay. I will just say this, that last week when the first, or 2 weeks ago when the first round of layoffs, we helped about 25 employees at that time. And so we've been really just trying to help since the beginning. So.
I don't know. Had they come, I was going to ask personnel what was the transition plan for the employees. Now, this is not our area council member, but certainly we could be thinking about the transition. It's not our area, but hey, somebody's making it our area. Somebody's making it our area. There should be a transition plan for all employees, and I don't know if there has been a staff meeting where that you all have been given the transition plan in writing and what that transition plan looks like. Those of you who are in the audience, if you could just raise your hand to let me know whether or not a transition plan has been given to you all. A transition plan for employees.
What's that? What would it consist of?
Okay, that means you don't have it. Okay. Okay.
I asked today,
Go ahead.
we had a seminar today between 8:30 and 10, where representatives from the state came in and told us how we could sign up for unemployment, food stamps and the like, how we could sign up for retraining and all that, and I went to the...
So that's supposed to happen as well, I'm asking, go
The
ahead.
one lady that was present from the city that worked in the personnel office, and I asked her, I said, look, you know, I'm 60-something years old. Do I really need to go get retrained? If you're going to call me back, and I just got to hold on for a little while. And she told me I had to do what was best for me. She didn't know.
Wow.
All right, I just wanted to know if y'all, I'm gonna let you ask your question, Mr. Brinkley. And then that's gonna be the last question. I wanted to know if y'all had that transition plan in your hand or not. So obviously some of you knew about it and some of you did not know about it. You called it a seminar, so I'll call it that too. Go ahead, Mr. Brinkley.
Also, there were, well, when they came to the recreation department, I asked about those of us who are still on probation. I've been working for 3 months, and in 3 months you accrue vacation time and sick time. But I was told that we were not eligible to be compensated for that.
Wow.
Again, I wish personnel would say, well, we don't have personnel, we have something else.
I mean, I was just concerned because, you know, I transitioned from the education system with 25 years or more. And coming in, I was told that I would accrue certain days. Well, when the layoff came, that time that I accrued is no longer there because I've been laid off.
I'm gonna call him a personnel board. We do have a board, a personnel board. I'm thinking you all need to stand before that board, before the personnel board, and I'm thinking they need to listen to you all. We need to find out what we can do that's proper, council members, concerning the transition, and again, that's not our area. But if we can get information to you, I think that would be helpful. And one of the things I'm saying is that there needs to be a meeting with the personnel board, in my opinion, and they're supposed to be unbiased and neutral. That board is supposed to be unbiased and neutral and can take care of a matter like that, and should be able to take care of a matter like that. Who's on it now? I don't know. All right. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. The meeting is adjourned. She did.